Hey everyone, and welcome back. In this video, we are going to be discussing the top 8 things you can do to increase your productivity as a real estate agent in 2022. Now, these are actually 8 timeless strategies that will work from now until forever, and we're going to be breaking them down point by point so you can implement them right after this video and increase your productivity as a real estate agent. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For those that are new here, my name's Andrew Dunn, and over the last few years, I've helped generate billions of dollars in transactions for teams, brokers, agents across the whole of the US. And along with my partner, we sell homes in Boca Raton in Florida. And we've also helped over 100 agents cross over $100,000 per year and up in GCI. So this channel's about helping you achieve those levels of success completely for free, and that's why we're here. There's a lot of broke agents. I don't want you to be one of them. So in today's video, got my iPad back out, and we're going to be running through some of the 8 top tips for success this year. Tip number 1, this is a big one. I've used this for a long time. Is a 12-week year. Now, what I mean by this is it's best to have a big goal that you want to hit in your year. So let's say you want to hit 50 million in production this year. Awesome. You need to break that down. What you want to do is you want to eventually break it down to by day or week by week goals. But the big thing to do is break it down quarterly, which is a 12-week year. So you're like, okay, well, I need to hit, 15 million in this quarter, 12.5 million this quarter, whatever it is. That's what I need to do. And then by the next quarter, I want to hit 20 million. And by the next one, I want to hit 25. And that's the best way you can break down the year. It allows you to have an end point that is really attainable. It's like, okay, it's a 12-week sprint. And some people even have small breaks after the 12 weeks. They might take a week off. This is definitely not unheard of. They push really hard for 3 months, take like a week off, and then do it again, 3 months, another week off, so on and so forth until towards the end of the year. This will allow you to stay super focused on the goal for this 12-week year. And then it also helps compound towards your big end of year goal. So like I said, if you've got, say, $100 million, $50 million production goal for the year, you break it down into quarterly and you basically go from there. Now, a lot of the times, as you know, real estate, we've got slower months and slower quarters versus others. So it might not look even. You might say, okay, well, in Q1, it's a slower quarter for me in general. I'll aim to do 10 million this quarter. But in Q2, which definitely picks up a lot, I aim to do 30 million. And then Q3, we want to do 50 million. And then in Q4, we want to do 20 million, right? That might be how it breaks out for you. It's you. You know what your market's like, you know how it cycles. So break down your yearly goal into 12 weeks and you'll find the compound effect, you'll find you actually achieve a lot more doing it that way. The second one is also a big one. I've been doing this for years too. It's a power list or power 5 list or list of 5. There's loads of different names for it. This is a very well-known common business strategy. So it's basically, there is 5 things that you can do every day that move your business forward. Now, this isn't little things like text back Sandra, or like send email to Jason. These shouldn't be on your Power 5 list. They are just general day-to-day activities that you have to do to keep your business going. These are 5 big things that help you move your business forward. So it could be 2 hours of lead generation. It could be do that open house. It could be, have these meetings with these investors to get deals from them. But you should have 5 things every day that are super important, and they're also the things that you want to do first, ideally. So when you wake up in the morning, you don't want to be going through your messages and checking your phone and doing all this stuff. You want to be focusing on your power list. Get them knocked out first, ideally. Obviously, it's not always possible. And then you go on to kind of the more trivial day-to-day tasks. The third one is time blocking. This doesn't work for everyone, so I'm going to throw a caveat out there, but it works for everyone within a certain kind of sphere. So I'll give you me, for example. I personally don't time block hour by hour. I time block by day and week by week. So with my power list of 5, for example, I get those 5 things done every day, come hell or high water, right? But what I don't do is I don't go, well, I've got to do list, point number 1 between 1 and 2, and point number 2 between 2 and 3:30, and so on and so forth. That just doesn't work for me. I'm just not that regimented, and it might not work for you. So figure out what works for you, but time blocking works for everyone. It's just the type of time blocking that works for you. So you might go, I want to achieve these 30 things this week. I would personally not do that. I think that's quite overwhelming to be like, shit, I've got a list of 30, right? If you got a list of 5, it's far more achievable, right? And then you can go, I just need to hit these 5 things a day. That's the way I work. I think, try it out. Let me know in the comments down below if you find that more helpful. If you're not doing it that way already, I definitely find it helpful. Number 4, this again seems a bit of a catch-22. We're all real estate agents, we're selling homes, we're doing all this stuff. People are always wanting to get hold of us. In your power time, let's call it, in the time where you are doing really important things that are moving the needle forward, unless it's stuff like lead generation, highly recommend you turn your notifications off, you put your phone on flight mode, other things like that. When you're writing contracts, when you just don't want to be disturbed, you need to, this also comes into setting a schedule. So if you've got family time, things like that, you want to make sure you are setting aside time with the time blocking. And then when you're doing that, you're turning notifications off so you're focused. A lot of times, if you're honest with yourself, the reason tasks take way longer than you think is because you see the notification come up and you're going to quickly text, Sandra back. And it's like, oh, did this? Oh, it took me 3 hours. It's like, no, actually, you were only on the task for 45 minutes. You just got, veered off task for over 2 hours doing these other things. So if I was you, my advice would be turn off your notifications, put your phone elsewhere, just whilst that task is getting done, and just be, very focused and single-minded, like, hey, I'm going to achieve that. Number 5, exactly what I'm doing in this video. As you can see, I've got my iPad here, you're looking at it and you're looking at the points I'm going through, is prepare properly before execution. If I was just to come on these videos, in my example, and just wing it and be like, I'm going to talk about, 8 things or 10 things or 12 things, right? And then just wing each of them, right? It'd make an awkward video and it would be like, well, whatever. Well, it goes the same for you. If you're not preparing for a listing presentation, you're not preparing your buyer's agreement, you're not preparing your contracts, you're not preparing your staff to do their job properly, right? What's going to ultimately happen? Things probably aren't going to get done. 1, the way you want. 2, they might just not get done. 3, frustration, all goes wrong, right? You have to prepare properly. You've got to be ahead of the curve. There's the old saying, if you plan to fail, you fail to plan, or you plan to fail to plan, you plan to fail, vice versa, right? Think about these things in business, in life all the time. You have to prepare what you want to achieve in advance, because without the preparation, execution's nothing. Little side note, right? Way back when I used to spray cars, right? The reason I'm telling you this is you go ask anybody, say sprays cars, for example, they say 95% of the work is in the prep. The easy thing is actually spraying the car, right? The hard thing is actually preparing the car to be sprayed. Anybody can kind of spray the car, but no one can do a good job in the preparation. Preparation is king. I can't harp on about that enough. Number 6, take regular breaks. So what I mean by this is studies have shown, there's loads of studies, you can go look at them online. If you every hour and a half, just taking a 5 to 10 minute break actually helps productivity. So it's far better to go and have like a coffee break, an outside break, go grab a breath of fresh air, 5 to 10 minutes every hour and a half. Actually keep your brain going, keeps productivity high. And ultimately with the high pressure, high intensity styles of our work here, that's an important thing. So although you might say, I don't have time for that, actually you should make time, because then in the time you're working, you'll actually find you get far more done. Number 7 is going to be focus on productivity and not being busy. We have all fallen into this trap. Hey, I've got, all this to do today, right? And then you look back at what you've actually done, you feel like you've achieved nothing. That's because you're focused on being busy. This ties heavily into the power list. Having those 5 key points, or the power 5, I call it, 5 key points that are going to allow you to actually feel accomplished in a single day. And then you're focused on productivity and not being busy. And then also, again, these all loop nicely in together, time blocking and scheduling, turning off notifications. These are all things that are going to increase your productivity. Ultimately, if you can get the same amount of work done that you're currently doing in less time, so you could either now do more and achieve business growth faster, or you take that time and do other stuff, whether you've got children and family and all that, and you want to use it for that instead, then they're both wins. You're either going to get more money or more time freedom. Number 8. This is kind of a double-edged sword, so I'm going to preface this right away. It's set realistic goals to keep momentum. Now, the reason I'm prefacing this is if you're watching this and you're already a high producer, I actually don't recommend setting realistic goals. I'll tell you why, because let's say you're listening to this and you're already doing 100 million, 200 million a year. Well, if you go, I'll do 110 or 120, let's be honest, you should easily be able to do that. As you grow bigger, you get more established and more accomplished. Your goals should be more and more stretched. So we speak with high producing agents every single day, literally daily on our top podcast, Elite Agent Secrets, right? All of them have huge audacious goals, 200 million to 400 million in a year. It took them 10 years to get 200 million, but now they're going to do 200 to 400 in a single year. But when you are starting off, what you don't want to do is go, hey, I've just started in real estate. I want to do 100 million in my first year. Chances are it's not going to happen. Now, my partner, his first 4 months in real estate, very first 4 months, did $100,000 in GCI, not in written contracts, actually collected the money, right? Which is over double, puts him in like the top 1% of real estate inside of 4 months, right? You can hit crazy goals very, very quickly. It's totally possible, right? But he also didn't set his goal to be 100 million his first year. His goal, I think, is 10 million in the first 6 months with regards like volume, right? Well on track to hit that. And that'll obviously, lend itself nicely into GCI. But you want to set goals that you think you're going to be able to accomplish to begin with. You'll allow yourself to keep momentum. You keep yourself moving forward. And when you've got momentum, things just become a little bit easier because you're kind of feeling like you're getting pushed. All right. So if you're a newer agent, give yourself a realistic goal. Or if you're a seasoned agent and you're struggling to grow, set yourself a solid goal. It's a little bit of a stretch, but not crazy out of the world, because you want to keep hitting your goals. And then eventually, as I'm sure we'll grow together in this journey, when you're doing 100 million and we have a chat, I'm sure at some point, it's like, okay, set yourself 200 million. All right. So everyone, I hope you've enjoyed my tips today on how to be, a successful real estate agent and how you can increase your productivity in 2022. If you got any feedback, you got any points, any other videos you would like me to do, drop them down in the comments below. And as always, make sure to smash subscribe and hit that notification bell, and we will see you in the next one.